Priorities will tell you everything you need to know about a person. It shows what they value. When something is important to you, you will always find a way to do it. When it's not, you'll find an excuse. So instead of saying, I don't have time, try saying, it's not a priority, and see how that feels. Your priorities aren't what you say they are. They are revealed by how you live. You define what is important to you by what you dedicate your time to. And so the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. The issue is not will my calendar be full, but what will fill my calendar. The issue is not prioritizing our schedule, but scheduling our priorities. You have to schedule your priorities or they don't happen. Now, in order to do this, we have to learn the art of saying no. You see, every no should be rooted in a deeper yes. In order to say yes to your priorities, you have to be willing to say no to something else. So if you have your yeses rooted deeply, then your no's are a whole lot easier. We ought to say no to at least one thing every day so we can say yes to something more important. In my book, The 5 Essentials of Life, I give you 5 questions that you can ask to determine what your top priorities are. But let me give you one of them, and that is determine what your top 5 responsibilities are. Ask yourself this question: what can I, and only I, do that if done well will make the biggest difference? Where can you make the most significant contribution that if you don't do it, it will not be done? Doing this task and doing it well and doing it promptly can have a major impact on your life. So here's how the top 5% principle works. It doesn't matter whether you are an employer, an employee, or a student. Basically, 80% of what you do, anyone can do. I know that statement didn't exactly make you feel very valuable, did it? But it's true. Think of your daily schedule and the time that you invest answering the phone, checking emails, sitting and taking notes in a meeting, making the widgets, filling out the reports, all these things. Basically, anybody can do 80% of what you do. Now, 15% of what you do, anybody with some modicum of skill can do those things as well. That might include running an Excel spreadsheet, Adobe Photoshop, or AutoCAD. With a little bit of training, virtually anybody can have the skills that you do 15% of the time. Now, before you throw in the towel, quit your job, and just give up on life, understand this. The 5% principle involves the 5% of the things that you do that only you can do. Nobody else in the world can do that last 5%. You see, only I can be a husband to my wife, Carrie. No one else can do that. Only I can be a daddy to my son and my 2 daughters. I'm the only father they will ever have. Only I can grow spiritually and professionally. I can't hire someone else to grow for me. There are certain things that only you can do, and in the end, when you stand before God to give an account of your life, it's that 5% that you will be accountable for. God won't hold you accountable for whether or not your company made it into the Fortune 500. You won't be held accountable for how well your employees performed, but you will be held accountable for your 5%, because that is what only you can do. And that's what I encourage you today to invest in.